Tilly Smith, a 10-year-old girl, was on holiday in Thailand with her family during Christmas in 2004. It was December 26th, and Tilly was at the beach with her family. She noticed how the sea was retreating rapidly, and the water's surface began to froth in an unusual way. This phenomenon didn't seem normal, and it reminded Tilly of her school lessons about natural disasters. Only weeks earlier, Tilly had learned about tsunamis in her geography class. Her teacher had explained that a sudden retreat of the sea and unusual behavior of the water are signs of an approaching tsunami. She also emphasized that in such situations, one should immediately flee to higher ground. Tilly informed her family about what she observed and began frantically warning other tourists on the beach. At first, her parents didn't take her seriously, but when she insisted they move to safety and explained the situation, they started to grasp the severity of it. The family, along with the hotel staff, initiated a swift evacuation. Thanks to Tilly's brave actions and quick response, the beach was cleared before the tsunami struck. Although the devastating waves swept through the area, no one on the beach lost their life. Tilly's knowledge and courage saved dozens of lives. We're talking about the tsunami in the Indian Ocean, which struck multiple countries, claiming over 230,000 lives and leaving devastation that is still felt today. My condolences go out to all those who lost their loved ones in this natural disaster. If watching this makes you uncomfortable, I recommend checking out one of my other videos instead. Everything began deep under the Indian Ocean, about 150 kilometers off the west coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. At 7:58 a.m. local time, a massive earthquake occurred with a magnitude of 9.19.3. It was the third largest earthquake ever recorded, so powerful that it altered the Earth's rotation speed and shifted Sumatra several meters. The earthquake occurred at a subduction zone, a geological boundary where the dense plate of the Indian Ocean was slowly sliding under the Burma Plate. This ongoing collision is part of the recycling process of the Earth's lithosphere. But when the tension between the plates was suddenly released, it triggered one of the strongest earthquakes in history and unleashed a massive tsunami traveling at speeds exceeding 800 kilometers per hour. Closer to shore, the waves grew as high as 30 meters. The tsunami did not strike just one country. It impacted 14 nations. The worst-hit areas were Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand. But the waves reached as far as the eastern coast of Africa. When the earthquake struck, the shortest response time was on Sumatra, Indonesia's largest island, where the first waves hit just 15 minutes after the earthquake. Even the bravest person would likely feel overwhelmed in such a situation. In Thailand, the first waves arrived within about 2 hours, and in Sri Lanka and India, in 4 hours. It's hard to imagine the fear and panic people must have felt in those moments. The 2004 tsunami had widespread effects on people's lives in these regions. Over 230,000 people died, and tens of thousands went missing. Many of the victims were women and children who couldn't escape the waves. Millions lost their homes, particularly in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and India. Entire villages and towns were wiped out, leaving residents without shelter, food, or water. Many people lost their livelihoods. For example, fishermen's boats and nets were destroyed, and farmers' fields were contaminated by floodwaters, making them unusable for years. You can probably guess what happened to tourism in Thailand and Sri Lanka. Yes, it collapsed due to fear and, of course, the destruction. Roads, bridges, ports, and power grids were destroyed, especially in the hardest-hit areas like Aceh in Indonesia and Tamil Nadu in India. Coral reefs, mangrove forests, and coastal vegetation suffered immensely. Mangrove forests, which serve as natural barriers against tsunamis, were destroyed in many places, leaving the coasts more vulnerable to future natural disasters. Seawater mixed with sewage, waste, and toxic chemicals, contaminating drinking water and soil. This posed health risks and made farming extremely difficult. Reconstruction recovering from the tsunami would have taken much longer without external aid. Communities worldwide donated over $14 billion for disaster relief. This facilitated rebuilding, though in some areas such as Aceh, recovery took over a decade. Many destroyed communities were rebuilt. In some regions, coastal villages were relocated to higher ground to provide a safer location in case of a future tsunami. Thanks to this disaster, safety measures improved drastically. A comprehensive tsunami warning system, including underwater seismic sensors and alert systems, was installed across the Indian Ocean region. We can conclude that tsunamis, and natural forces in general, should never be underestimated. Fortunately, safety measures today are advanced enough that you shouldn't cancel a holiday in Thailand out of fear of a tsunami. Thank you for watching the video. Share your thoughts in the comments and let me know what topics you'd like to hear about next. See you next time.